Timestamps in the description. This guide will focus on the competitive game mode, which is just a ranked version of unrated with overtime. Some basic terminology. Half. Every match is split into two 12-round halves where you play as both sides. Pistol round. The first round of both halves where everybody only has pistols, or a shorty. Eco round. Rounds where you spend minimal or no money so you have money for the next round. People may also call this a save. Bonus round. The round after winning the first two rounds of the half. Buy. Purchase something. Full buy or gun round. A round where you purchase full shields, good guns, and utility. Force buy. Where you spend all your money despite being unable to full buy. Bomb. The spike. Site. Where you plant the spike. Stick. Means to hold the plant or defuse button. Half the spike means to defuse it halfway. Fake. Means to tap defuse or plant to cause a sound and bait out a peek. Can also mean pretending to go to a site to weaken a different one. Game sense. Situational awareness. Rotate. Move from a location to another. Anchor. Stay in a position. Strafe. Move sideways with A or D. Tap. Fire your gun once. Burst. Fire 2 to 5 bullets. Spray. Fire your gun continuously. Utility. Abilities. Smokes. Vision blocking utility. CTs. Defenders. CT spawn is the same as defender spawn. Ts. Attackers. T spawn is the same as attacker spawn. Basics. The default controls are WASD to move, left click to shoot, and right click for alt fire or aiming down sights. From now on, I will refer to aiming down your sights as ADSing. To plant or defuse the spike, you hold 4. You need to stand still to be accurate with most guns. Movement speed is fastest with your knife out. Move silently by holding left shift. Sensitivity. Sensitivities are going to be personal preference. I personally would recommend at most only being able to do a 360-degree turn with a full swipe of the mouse, because a low sensitivity will be easier to control than a high one. To find your sensitivity, you can track a single point while strafing left and right. If you overshoot, your sensitivity is too high, and if you undershoot, it's too low. If your sensitivity is too high, you should check if your mouse's DPI is too high. DPI is basically your mouse's sensitivity. Gunplay. Headshots will deal the most damage, followed by body and then leg shots. You want to constantly have your crosshair placed at head level because headshots will kill an enemy fastest and require minimal crosshair adjustments to hit the head. Aiming down sights is fine, but try to get into the habit of hip firing because the fire rate for guns becomes slower, meaning less damage per second. This does not apply to the Guardian, Operator, Ares, or Odin, with the Odin also getting a fire rate buff from ADSing. You should only reload when safe or low on ammo. Reloading after every kill is an easy way to die and unnecessary when you can kill in as little as 1 bullet. Personally, I would recommend getting used to the vertical recoil of the Phantom and Vandal, which is about the first 10 bullets in the magazine. Vertical recoil is the easiest to control, and past 10 bullets you're probably already dead. Game objectives. The goal as attackers is to either kill the defending team or plant the spike at a site before time runs out. After planting the spike, you defend it for 45 seconds until it detonates. The goal as defenders is to kill the attacking team or prevent them from planting the spike before time runs out. Once the spike gets planted, defenders can no longer win the round by killing the enemy team and now need to defuse the spike before it detonates. The spike takes 4 seconds to plant and 7 seconds to defuse. You can defuse the spike halfway, stop defusing, and continue defusing from the halfway point, which takes 3.5 seconds. Game structure. Every game is first to 13 with 12 rounds in each half of the game. If you are playing competitive and tie at 12-12, the first team to be up by 2 will win. Every half starts with a pistol round. If you win pistol, you should push your economic advantage by buying stuff. When you win the first 2 rounds, the third round is considered a bonus round because you have minimal monetary investment in the round. If you lose pistol, you should eco so you can have a gun round on the third round. Economy. Generally speaking, buying with your team is a good rule of thumb. What you buy on pistol round will mostly be preference, just don't buy a sheriff. If you win the pistol round, you should always purchase better weapons and shields. Limit the Vandals or Phantoms on your team to 1 on the second round. If you are low on credits, it's better to save them for the next round when you can buy better guns, normally Vandals or Phantoms, than to force buy and potentially be in the same situation as last round. Staying alive after your team loses and the round time ends means you only get 1,000 credits, so it's generally better to die and potentially damage the opponent's economy.
If you're not a good shot today, don't worry, there are other ways to use.
Agents. The role of the agent doesn't really matter. Anyone can entry or anchor. Everyone has guns, and the agent won't affect your aim. Having said that, duelists are expected to be the ones actively looking for fights or entering sites. Initiators and controllers will normally enter after the duelists while supporting them. Sentinels are expected to anchor sites or watch flanks with their utility. For example, it's better to have a duelist die first than to have your controller die because the duelist has more selfish utility while the controller smokes for the whole team. In terms of team composition, having at least one controller, smoke character, on the team is pretty much all you need, but also technically not necessary to win. Healers are not a necessity. You do not need a healer to win a match. I would personally recommend unlocking Raze, Fade, Omen, Viper, Cypher, and Killjoy. When playing a character with smokes, make them flush. Communication. There's only one rule when it comes to communication. Don't be toxic. Try to communicate important information only. Your team doesn't need to know that you got spammed through a smoke.
Last player standing.
The fuck, they spam you with the fucking smoke. Also, they're pushing through.
It's also important to call out the amount of enemies at a location. Instead of saying all A... Oh shit, they're all A! They're all A! They're all A!
Last player standing.
They weren't all A.
You can say at least 2A. Oh shit, at least 2A. It can be frustrating, but don't flame people for not having microphones. People can communicate with pings, in-game voice lines, or typing. Communication is important, but if someone is being toxic, just mute, report, and move on.
Do not have a mic in the current year.
What is
You don't
wrong
have a
with you?
mic? What is wrong with you?
Jesus Christ.
Get this. Oh.
Every computer
It's
has
like
a mic built.
fucking like $20.
Just buy a headset. I don't
You
know.
could go to Five Below.
Why
and
doesn't
get
your
a mic.
headset have a fucking mic? Are you playing with speakers?
Get off the game.
Fucking weirdo. Just
Uninstall.
dodge. Just dodge.
You are so
fucking
You're
garbage.
fucking
Uninstall.
garbage, dude.
Advanced gunplay. The main thing you want to improve when starting out is your aim. Things like game sense will develop the more you play. You can use the map's features or teammates to line up your crosshair to head level. Always tap with pistols. Pistols are inaccurate while moving and spamming. Learn to spray 5 to 10 bullets when using a rifle, because 5 bullets are lethal with a Phantom and 4 are lethal with a Vandal. You can strafe in between bursts and tapping to make yourself difficult to hit. Improving. The best way to improve is to play the video game, basically practice. Starting out, I would recommend getting used to stopping your movement by strafing between every kill in the practice range. With this method, you can also focus on different weapons, tapping, bursting, spraying, or mixing it up. Going into a custom game and practicing crosshair placement in an empty map can help with familiarizing yourself with the maps and knowing where to keep your crosshair.
My ult is ready.
If you have any questions, don't be afraid to leave a comment. I'll do my best to answer them. Sorry about the awful microphone quality.